This is how to use PowerToys FancyZones to organize every window so your workflow feels smooth. Start your PowerToys and go to the system tray in the bottom right. Click the small cogwheel icon. This opens the PowerToys settings. From here, go to Windowing and Layouts on the left and click FancyZones. Turn on Enable FancyZones at the top so the feature becomes active. Right under that, there are two important things, the Open Layout Editor button and the Activation Shortcut line. The shortcut shows which keys open the layout editor from anywhere, so pay attention to what's currently assigned. Leave it as is for now, then change it later if it conflicts with something else. Click Open Layout Editor. This opens the FancyZones editor window for your monitor. Move your mouse across the templates row and click cards like No Layout, Focus, Columns, Rows, Grid, or Priority Grid. Notice how the monitor preview outline changes for each one. To customize a template, move your mouse over its card and click the small pencil icon. A Properties pop-up opens with a preview at the top. The Number of Zones slider lets you choose how many zones this template uses. The Space Around Zone slider controls the gap between zones. The Highlight Distance slider decides how close you need to drag to a zone before it lights up. At the bottom, set this template as the default layout for horizontal orientation. Also set it as the default for vertical orientation if you rotate your monitor later. When you finish adjusting, click Save to close the pop-up and return to the main editor window. Look at the Custom section under the templates to create your own layout. Click Create New Layout. A layout type window appears in the middle of the screen. Type a name for your custom layout so you recognize it later. Then select the grid layout type so the zones stack horizontally or vertically. Click Create. The editable zones appear on your screen. In the middle, there's a small instructions box explaining how splitting and merging works. Basically, blue line splits a zone horizontally. To split vertically, hold Shift while choosing where to split along the line. Select multiple zones to make the merge option appear, then use it to combine them into a bigger zone. Drag the zone handles left, right, up, or down to resize each zone exactly how you like. When the layout looks right, click Save to save your layout and close the editor. Back in the FancyZones editor, make sure your new custom layout is highlighted in the Custom section so this layout actually gets used on your monitor. Let me quickly demonstrate how it works before covering the rest of the settings. Pick any window and click and hold the title bar. While holding the window, press and hold Shift. FancyZones highlights appear on the screen. Move the window over any zone until it lights up, then release the mouse to drop the window into that zone. Once the basics make sense, go back to the FancyZones settings page. The Zone Behavior section has several options worth looking at. Turn on Hold Shift to activate zones while dragging if you want zones to only show when holding Shift, or turn it off for zones to appear automatically. Choose to use another mouse button instead of the main one to activate zones while dragging. Turn on using middle click to toggle spanning so a window can stretch across multiple zones when you need more space. Turn on Showing Zones on all monitors while dragging to see snap targets on every screen at once. Let zones span across monitors so a single zone can cover more than one screen. Under When Multiple Zones Overlap, open the drop-down to choose how FancyZones decides which zone to use when areas overlap. Pick to activate the smallest zone by area, or pick to activate the largest zone by area, or split the overlapped area into multiple activation targets, or choose to activate the zone whose center is closest to your cursor. The Zone Appearance section shows how your zones will look and lets you change the appearance style, whether zone numbers are shown, and how strong the highlight appears when dragging a window. The Window Behavior section has options that affect how windows interact with zones. Keep windows in their zones when the resolution or work area changes so your layout survives display changes. Match window sizes and positions when switching layouts so apps stay roughly where you expect. Move newly created windows into their last known zone so apps you reopen go back to the area you used before. Move new windows to the current monitor so they always open on the screen you're working on. Restore the original window size when unsnapping it from a zone. Make the dragged window transparent while moving it so you see the zones more clearly behind it. Allow child window snapping so dialogues and tool windows can also snap into zones. Disable rounded corners while a window is snapped if you prefer a straight-edged look inside zones. Next, in the Switch Between Windows section, set the shortcut for moving to the next window in your layout, and set the shortcut for moving to the previous window. The Override Windows Snap section lets you choose to move windows based on zone index, making keyboard snaps follow your zones instead of the default Windows Snap grid. Choose to move windows between zones across all monitors when using those snap shortcuts. Then, in the Layouts and Quick Layout Switch area, turn on Quick Layout Switch to cycle between different layouts using a shortcut without opening the editor every time. The Excluded Apps section lets you exclude apps from snapping, so FancyZones ignores them completely. Type the app name you want to exclude, such as a game or a tool that doesn't work well when resized, and add it to the list. Once all of this is set, close the PowerToys window and start using your computer normally. Just hold Shift and drop windows into zones whenever your desktop feels cluttered.